we thought it'd be a little more fun to kind of do this down here. I know they've got to take off pretty soon after we wrap, so this will kind of save some steps for them and also give you guys kind of a more intimate, exclusive experience here.
It's a fireside chat. That was
Fireside. Please welcome our guests, Jenna Kanell and Corcoran. Everything that we are doing upstairs still applies. This is still a Q&A, so if you guys have questions, I know they'll be happy to answer them. The stuff they don't know or can't answer, they'll make up. This guy will update all your Wikipedia pages with the wrong information. Then your job is to go in later tonight and fix everything back to where it was earlier today. Okay? So yeah. Been a good weekend? You guys had fun?
Yes, we had a great time. First time in Minnesota.
We're not in Minnesota.
Wow.
We're in Missouri.
We've been traveling a lot.
We've been traveling a lot. We're very happy to be in Missouri.
Thanks for being here, St. Louis.
It wouldn't have been my first time in Minnesota either. We were here.
We've been to Minnesota, yeah.
So totally.
What has my brain today?
This is my first time in the Dominican Republic.
I don't even know where I am.
So let's chat a little bit. I guess we're probably going to talk to Terrifier, I'm assuming. It's probably what they're going to ask. So let's talk about the thing. It's kind of interesting that we're seeing a resurgence in low-budget horror films because they are a low-budget and make a whole lot of money on that budget. So talk to us a little bit about your experience about the film. Maybe did the success of it go open some new doors that might have been previously closed, create new opportunities, and kind of catch us up on what you guys have been doing since.
That was like 5 questions in one.
So have fun.
Okay, great.
That's how we do it in Minnesota.
Going down the line.
Okay.
In Minneapolis.
Wherever we are in Minneapolis. Experience working in the film. Okay, so it was very, very indie. I mean, you know, the people who came on for 2 and 3 were coming into an established franchise with an actual budget. That was not the case for us. We were making a tiny indie movie. We were working for minimum wage or less than minimum wage. That building that we shot in was an actual abandoned building, so there was it was not a
No set design.
No, there was no running water, there was no electricity, there were used needles and used condoms everywhere.
Porta potties, if that at all. Yes.
So that was an actual, like, the scariest thing about the shoot is the location itself.
Yes. Yeah. They were not the safest. They were not like the most accessible. We never thought that anyone would see it.
Yeah.
Truly, because we were both on studio jobs all the time, so they had to shoot around us on our schedule. And as it's gotten bigger, it's been kind of like surprising and mind-boggling every step of the way because we never thought anybody would see it. Whereas like the other Leatico had the privilege of coming in and kind of knowing what it is and knowing what they wanted to get out of the experience and everything in a way that we just haven't. So I don't know if it has changed much for us in that we've always been working and it's just kind of been this crazy thing that has like as our careers as working actors and filmmakers have started to move forward. This thing has like kind of been in the back burner also growing.
Especially because it was such a slow burn for us.
Yeah,
I mean, we shot 10 years ago.
Yeah.
We filmed this in 2015.
Yeah.
And then it hit Netflix in like 2016, I think.
2017 or 18?
It gets like, so premiered in 2016 and then hit Netflix in 2017 or 18.
Well, I think, I just had a day on this, and I might be wrong, but my understanding is it did Telluride in 2016, which happened this time then, and then it did Lincoln Center the following year.
Oh, so it might have been 2018.
So I think Netflix was 2018. Yeah.
Okay, so because when it wasn't really until, I mean, there was like tricklings of like some people had seen it online, but it wasn't until it hit Netflix that a lot of people started to see it and it started trending because you all were watching it. And then it's been there very much like a slow burn of like...
Just gets bigger and bigger ever since.
Yeah. But we had already been working both as actors before then, and you know, have continued to in lots of other ways. So it's been very strange to see what's happened.
I'm always surprised. It always gets like it's like this thing that exists in my closet that just pops out. It's like, hello, I'm still here.
Yeah.
That's what you want popping out of your closet.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Hey, there could be worse things to pop out of your closet.
100%.
So talk to us a little bit about what you guys have been doing since. You've done a lot of work behind the camera making your own content as well.
Yeah, some shit so shady.
So tell us a little bit about, again, if the success of this has had any impact on opportunities, and people have recognized, hey, the face, but oh yeah, they actually have, yes, they have their resume, Terrifier, and then they have this thing, and then here's what we've been doing since. It's consistently being woodwork, it's consistently been on time. But yeah, I mean, talk to us a little bit about maybe some of that, and if this has had any sort of impact on, again, opportunities, I guess, is kind of a thing.
I mean, for me anyway, I would say the biggest opportunity that's come is that, doing conventions like this gives the freedom for us to be able to focus on our work full time and not have to worry about paying rent.
Yeah, I'd agree. I think the biggest misconception is that this thing has skyrocketed in our careers. That is just not the case. For the people who have come into the films subsequently, yes, that is the case. You will a lot of times see those first films, but for us, I have been doing this professionally since I was 10 years old. And Jenna has been doing this most of her entire adult life, most of her life. And I don't think, most of the faces we work with don't even know what Terrifier is.
Yeah.
For Jenna,
my agent has never seen it.
And that's a real fear solution that we have. We are not beholden to this thing. Our career has always existed before, and it has existed after. A lot of times, Jenna did bad movies, and they don't even know what this is.
No.
They don't know. They don't care. And that's kind of a really nice privilege that we can exist with one foot in the world and one foot outside of it, and neither are contingent.
Yeah. And I mean, we both do, to your question, we both do stunt work, we both direct, and we both produce, and we both worked a lot behind the camera and learned a lot from the indie films of what not to do and how to handle things more safely. And we both make our own stuff now in addition to working on bigger projects and continuing in that way. Both in film and television and music videos and all of the things.
Yeah.
Yeah, just go ahead.
On anything right now.
Yes, thank you for laying us up to give shameless plugs. The second row, thank you. So the little flyer that I have up there is for a film called De Novo that I wrote and is actually going to be my first feature as a director. It's a sci-fi. Very excited. So stay tuned. If you want to scan that QR code, it'll take you to a page where you can see a video of some of the stuff we've shot so far, and it'll tell you more about it. But that's been my main focus. I just shot, there's a band called Fit for a King that does metal. That's someone did a woo.
Yeah, I heard it.
There was a woo. Fantastic. If you go to any of their shows on their upcoming tour, you will see someone you might recognize or might not, because I'm into some crazy makeup in their visuals on their tools. So we're always making stuff and creating.
Yeah, absolutely. I wrote a comic that we're making that's coming out in the next year. So really, really exciting. And there's a TV show and feature version of that we're trying to option at the same time. So the comic will come first, so you see what happens with all of that. So it'll be some sort of package, that would be some dream. If that could happen, this year I will get it going on. I'm into new Attack of the Killer Tomatoes, free booze. I did a comedy with a bunch of big team SNL and a bunch of really great here comedians. Bobby Moynihan is the big SNL name that's on that, and he's lovely. I did a film with Jackie Haley for Shaggy is Watchmen, as also Michael Myers in the reboot of Friday the 13th. So you're one of the few people who say that, and I agree. I think he gives a great performance. So we're always going.
Yeah. Oh, I guess I should plug. I'm in a Christmas horror comedy.
Yes, it's coming out.
I forgot. That comes out in December on streaming called We're So Dead. It's very stupid and over the top. It's really dumb. I can't emphasize it enough. I said this to them, I just saw it for the first time, and I went up to the director and I was like, that was so stupid. He was like, I'm so happy you said that. So it's definitely supposed to be. So yeah, we're always.
Oh yeah. There's also a doc. It was the very first thing I ever produced a decade ago.
That's premiering right now.
Right now in Sitges, in Spain. It's about this pure hair family I did long before Terrifier. I felt like that impacts during media consolidation, which is a big thing that we can access now. So there's some movies. We're going,
Oh,
baby.
yeah. Oh, and I have a short film.
Oh, hey.
We cannot stop. We have an addiction. I have a short action comedy that's on the festival circuit right now
It's
that I
so
direct.
good. It's so good.
Thank
yes.
you. It's on. We're hoping to make a feature version of that, so we're talking to some people about that as well. So just stay tuned to all the things.
Brother is in it. It's
Yes.
amazing. And she stunt drives it.
That's right. They do a really cool stunt move in the car. Lots of crazy stuff.
So I guess the next question would be, when you guys sleep?
What is sleep?
Yeah.
What have you heard about the sleep thing?
On airplanes, I've heard of this.
I've heard of this.
I've heard of this. The sleep thing is it's going to be big.
It's gotta be big. I can see it's a trend that would take off.
Yeah, but it is important to we have to remind ourselves and each other that rest is important, and you have to pace yourself in order to keep going. So usually after one of these weekends, we'll take a day off and kind of recharge, and that's rest is also productive. That's a word to remember.
Yeah.
Hi, girlfriend.
That's my mini Demi. Hey, how is it working with Will and Martin?
With who? I'm sorry.
With Will and Marnie on Bad Boys 4. So I didn't get to work with Martin a ton, but working with Will was awesome. Will Smith is really, really sweet. He said good morning to everybody every day. He remembered me on the red carpet, gave me a high five, which was the coolest. He's very, very kind, and he's one of those people similar to Nicolas Cage who doesn't have anything to prove at this point, but continues to really care about their craft. So that scene in Bad Boys Ride or Die where you're following the perspective of the gun. He's so focused on getting that right and doing it again and again and again until it was right. And it's so validating and amazing and inspiring to see people who don't have to put everything into what they do and continue to, because not everyone is like that. Amazing.
Yeah.
We both worked with a lot of A-listers and B-listers who don't care to that degree. So it means a lot that there are still people who want to make good movies for you and for us to watch it, be entertained.
It was great, but every Bad Boys is a good movie. But really, honestly, out of funny one, did you have to get on the computer and try to chase him down, man, and tell him,
Listen,
come on?
I was just a day at work. I was just doing my job. I wasn't trying to get shot in the face by Vanessa Hudgens, but sometimes that's just how it goes. Yeah. Sometimes.
You're great.
We try not to die, but it keeps happening.
You're great. Y'all were great.
Thank you.
Other questions?
Jenna,
Mike.
have you ever gotten hurt doing a stunt and you combat?
I, luckily, have only gotten hurt one time doing a stunt. I'm sure you have an answer to this question as well. I had to do a stunt one time where I jump out the back of a moving car, do a barrel roll, and then kick up and stand up and point a firearm at somebody, and I messed up my shoulder on one of the rolls. But luckily that hasn't usually been the case. The only other time, and I don't know if you would count this, was I did a stunt on Renfield, the Nick Cage Dracula movie, where it's called a double gooch. I don't know why, I did not name it, where you're in a harness and they flip you around a bunch of times and then you land. And in the stunt itself, I was luckily fine, but the harness is such and the move is such that I couldn't walk for 2 days. But I've recovered now, I'm good now.
Yeah, I mean, the thing was, it's stunts that a lot of people it does hurt. There's no...
Even when you do it right.
Yeah, the idea is just to do it in a way that you're putting as little impact on your body as possible and as times as possible. So I've done a few things where I sit on a wire and the in the film it's supposed to look like they're getting pulled through a portal. So I've done what's called a corset pull, where they put a horse harness on me and there is an actual fan on the other side of it pulling it, and I am coming through with my arms out and back and landing.
And you had to go through a doorway.
Yeah, on that one.
So you have to try not to break your arms.
And so we did do it safely, and I was fine. But the next couple days, it felt like I had some sort of whiplash, because essentially that's what you're doing to your body. That's inevitable, and I knew that was coming, so I knew to prep for that. And I just knew to take it easy the next couple days. I have heard on Terrifier, I got very, very hurt on my knee. I had to have a minor medical procedure or a way to go into the back and adjust my eardrums, and I almost had a seizure because that was not a stunt. That was just something executed at a safe. There's a big difference between something like re-wrapped and reversed and within a level of skill set that the performer has, and something that is just kind of like thrown together on a whim. And that was one of the learning lessons of Terrifier, is that a lot of that, because we was so low budget, because we were all earlier in our careers, there was a lot of things that were not progressed as they should have been. And I think we've all learned from that.
Oh, if we did it now, it would have been done
completely different. Like for both of us, I think for Damien, like everyone would have done it differently. But I was actually hung upside down by my ankles on a rusty pipe, which is not something that should ever happen.
And you're not supposed to be upside down for that long.
No, and so I had cranial swelling, but you could actually even have a seizure and die. So like that was like a big learning lesson, I think, for everybody on that. And like the way you could do that, there's so many different ways to do it. I know now, and again, like the privilege of getting better at what you do. Is you could be in a harness, you could be in a rig, like what she was just talking about. Or you could flip around, like you don't have the budget for that.
You just come down every so often.
Or like you don't even need to be on your ankles.
Yeah.
Just put a green screen down on a like slight inversion, spray air. Yeah, that's it, and then run the line. So there's so many ways to do it. But yeah, like we learn and we get better. And luckily, it's not a situation like on films like this happens on some low budget sets on like films like Rust
Where people actually die. Or The Crow.
Yes, yeah. So there's there's plenty of stories like that. That's why it's super, super important not only to like learn how to do this correctly and make sure you have coordinators and people in place who can execute this correctly, but to be honest about how to do and what you're capable of. To not say that you can do something that you don't have the training or expertise
Because
to do.
very often actors will say that they can do stunts and they're not trained to do them, and that's how people who either hurt herself or somebody else.
Yeah.
I also think I got a concussion one time, which I forgot to say, probably because of the concussion. On a music video where, and the music video is amazing. Like I'm so proud of it. It's very cool. It's called "This Is Our Life." The artist is Des Rock, and it's just me fighting people the whole time. But we did one version where somebody like picks me up and drops me on my back or they like throw me on my back onto a metal table. But they threw me up so high that I couldn't that you're supposed to, when you do a fall, tuck your chin and you curl your shoulders so that you're hitting in between your shoulder blades. But they threw me so high that I couldn't, the whiplash forced my head back. And I couldn't remember my choreography for several minutes, and it was very scary. But luckily we're all okay.
There's this great movie actually at this time, and I've seen many amazing stuff. And it's called The Fall Guy.
Oh, this movie! I love The Fall.
Excellent. It's excellent, and it really accurately kind of talks about what those people do.
Oh yeah.
And what it's like, and they utilize
Original or the remake?
dozens of actual really wildly talented stunt performers in that.
That's 87 North. They're really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So good. I mean, and because now we're talking about it, there was someone on Walking Dead who died from a high fall. There was someone on Deadpool 2 who died on a motorcycle. It's just not. It's never worth it. These are just movies. We're not curing cancer. It's really never worth it.
Yeah. I
So
get
just
really,
be safe.
I get really angry when people are like, "Oh, they were a trooper. It's like a badge for it." Stop. You never ever should be in these streets.
You only get one body.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on the Academy adding a stunt performer award?
It's about time.
Yeah. 100%.
They're stunt because we're technically action actors, rather than people who just do stunts are stunt performers, and that's a different thing. And they literally put their bodies on the line, and there's a lot of machismo in that world, and it's very cliquey, and so a lot of them will put up with things and they shouldn't, and it's about time that they get recognized, because it's so much more dangerous than any other position on set, and it can go so easily go without.
And there's so much that's the other thing, is there's this misconception that you do stunts so you can do everything, and that's also not true. They're different.
Stunts are very special.
There are people who are great, with fight choreography. There are people who are great with falls. There are people who set themselves on fire, and all of those things are very specialized stuff. It's so funny because where I train in Muay Thai and box, they were telling me, we have this girl coming in. She's a stunt performer. We told her about you, and I was like, well, just gonna be like Terrifier. She is probably much more of a badass than I am. Just if she is an actual stunt performer and not an action actor, she can do so much more. And it was hilarious because I saw a video from her. I was like, I know her. That's Monette. And actually, she doubled for me when I was hurt once because I could not do a stunt in a movie and had a double. Like it's very common. You know, most of the time I can, but I had a broken leg, a torn ACL, and I could not physically. It was not medically cleared to do it. So it was actually her. And then, and like, yeah, and it was just like, so it's just kind of like, it just have to be transparent about this kind of stuff. A lot of actors don't want to do that, and it's important to.
Who are your favorite?
Let's go here first and you get back to you.
I actually killed the chainsaw scene and watching it back. What were your first sounds?
Candidly, I had a lot of really mixed feelings about it for a long time because it was kind of like shocking. Yeah. And so I think I still probably do. And I didn't. So I never thought it was even going to be a big deal. I didn't think it really was this movie, so I never thought it was something I'd even have to like address. And we saw it at Lincoln Center. It did tell you Island Eateries in a letter screen in New York. And if you don't know, in New York City, that's where the opera and the ballet are.
Yeah, it's like a classy place.
Yeah.
Terrifier had no place.
And it, like,
did not belong.
And again, we had like the scenes that was on the marquee was like called the pizza parlor. Like it was just like so crazy, and people were sitting on the floor. It was like sold out. It was insane for Netflix, for anything. And I came in late, true to form, and I'm always late. And I walked in and saw like around the time when the hacksaw scene was happening, and the audience is screaming and freaking out. Like the first time I had seen it, and I mostly focused on seeing some more like the fact that everyone was freaked out, and then it was just silent. And I did have this thought that was like, oh man, we went too far. Like, because you know when you've lost your audience. And I will say, some guy in the audience made a joke, and he was being very rude, but everyone started laughing and applauding. And I swear that changed the trajectory of Terrifier and that scene, because it could have gone horribly in the other direction, especially at that venue. So yeah, but I've seen it, I've only, because it is kind of a rough thing, I saw, when it was on Netflix, I watched the hard seconds, and then I didn't watch the rest.
Until like last year, right?
Like 2 years ago, yeah, because it was in theaters again. We never really did it theatrically, so we got too big this during the strike, so we couldn't promote it. And I had some friends who were like, well, we gotta go see it. You know, like you're like on the marquee with like, you know, Barbie and you know, Indiana Jones and Oppenheimer. Like what? So we went and watched it, and it was a random screening. I didn't tell anyone I was going. Like a Wednesday night, it was sold out again, and that was the first time I sat through the entire movie all the way through. And I
2 years ago.
Yeah, 2 years ago. And the second time was in London when we did an event a year later. But I texted Jenna immediately afterwards, and I said, I have notes, but it's not what we think it is, because we have these conceptions around.
Because we're much better actors now,
Yeah.
so it's hard for us to watch it because we were so early on in our careers. So, but she was like, it's not as bad as we're very hard on ourselves.
Yeah.
And the premiere, or not the premiere, but the Lincoln Center screening was also the first time I had seen that scene, because we were both on studio films at the same time. So we're actually not in the same rooms during that scene. They shot her death, and they shot me reacting to her death on completely different days.
We had no idea what we were looking at or who we were trying to communicate
So
with.
then when we saw that scene, I was like, oh, I see. Oh my. Wild.
Your reaction.
Oh, thank you.
She's
Good.
a great actor.
Thank you.
We usually saw it at different times.
Good.
There's a
No,
lot
it's a
of
fun
stuff.
Easter egg.
There's a lot of stuff like that. We were, unless you're really seeing us like side by side on screen, most of them was like different days.
Yeah. And there's like a bunch of random insert shots where it's like someone else's scan that isn't ours, because they just like needed to get a random insert. And I was like, I don't remember doing that. That's not my hand. And like, if you look closely at like when Victoria comes in and finds my body, if you look carefully, my hair is suddenly like 2 inches longer.
Well, I met her. Like there was a girl. She was like, oh yeah, I was her double, her body double.
I was like, I didn't have a stunt double. I did all my own stunts. What are you
Yeah.
talking
And
about?
then I was like, oh, you mean like yes.
Like my literal body.
Yes.
You were the body on the floor.
Literally the body in the chair.
And who were your favorite users?
I worked with. Well, I didn't work with. we were on different days, but I did this film with Elizabeth Moss, and I met her afterwards, and she was amazing. Rosie is just the nicest person. She was so great. She helped me steal towels from the hotel so I could do it.
You committing a heist with Elizabeth.
Well, she did it. I did it. She just like didn't tell anyone. Accomplice from all around this. And she's
Oh, no. She had nothing to do with it.
Also really lovely. By the time when I was a kid, I got to meet Susan Sarandon on jobs, me and Elsie. I've not worked with, because we got some really great people. Jimmy Duvall is amazing.
We're obsessed with him. He played Frank the Rabbit in Donnie Darko.
Yeah.
He's so kind.
Rose McGowan is everything. And we've met some really wonderful people through this world. That is really cool.
Yeah. I mean, Nicolas Cage, I mentioned, that was like a dream come true. The first time I did a film called The Front Runner with Hugh Jackman. And I was in makeup. He's like 7 feet tall.
He rides a bicycle. Seriously.
I'm not surprised. He's the tallest man I've ever seen. And I was leaving the makeup trailer, and I was like, hey, I'm Jenna. I'm going to be playing your assistant press secretary. He was playing a presidential candidate. And I was just introducing myself because we were about to be working together for a month. And he turned around completely serious and he said, don't ever speak to me again. And my stomach dropped. I shit my pants. And then I immediately was like, I'm never gonna work again. Everyone's gonna drop me. I'm gonna have to change my career. I went through 5 years in my head in a few seconds. And after what felt like ages, he was like, I'm just kidding. It's so nice to meet you. I was like, so funny. Yeah,
Let me know.
we need a new pair of pants. Yeah, exactly.
When I was in camp the first time, I was at a party and I got to meet Tim Burton. And I was really nervous. I'm a big fan. They were come over, and finally, someone brought me over to meet him. I would not. And he had just done this gallery show of his artwork at the Museum of Modern Art in New York City. And I said, "These nice to meet you, Danny Zora." He's no, I said, "Yeah, festival's the first film I ever started." And I said, I saw your gallery show at MoMA. I really loved it. It's the reason I added a fine art minor to my degree. I was in college at the time. And he said, "Oh, where do you go to school?" And I kind of stuttered because I was like, "Oh, I go here, but I think they're gonna. I don't know if it's for much longer." And he said, "Well, why not?" So I think they're gonna kick me out because I'm here because I was missing too much class. And he looked at me and he said, "They know where you are?" I said, "Yes." And he said, "And they want to take away your scholarship?" I said, "Yes." I explained it was happening. And he goes, "Let me tell you something. Fuck up." That was it. He was like, "You're here. Fuck him." And then he just walked away. And I was like, I don't know. It was a really good. It's like, "Okay, Tim." Timmy.
Any other questions? We do need to wrap up shortly, but we have time for maybe one or two more.
Yeah.
What do you guys think makes low budget films so appealing to so many people?
That they can make them.
He asked, what do you think makes low budget films so appealing?
I think it's that you can make it, that you see yourself.
It's more accessible.
It feels accessible to you as someone with maybe to tell their own stories.
Yeah. And I mean, it has opened a lot of doors, and in a lot of ways, there are a lot of films that have done it without putting anyone in danger. Like, one of the best examples is the original Paranormal Activity. Yeah. It was like a $5,000 budget. It's now a major franchise. He shot it in his own house, just some friends of his who were not actors.
Yeah.
And and that was just I think, the accessibility is okay, what resources do I have? I know these people, I have access to this location, I have access to XYZ, what can I do with that? And then using your limitations as a motor to being creative. I mean, the original Blair Witch Project, what would happen with that? That was just a couple people with cameras in the woods. You don't have to put anyone in danger. You can be just really creative and smart about it. And you have an opportunity to, I think it's appealing to people because if you do it well, you have the opportunity to make money without having to spend as much.
Yeah.
But it's also a good way to get experience, even if you don't sell it, even if it never goes anywhere. It's just a good way to learn things and try things out.
I talked a little bit about this. My friend Freya is a great actor. You guys would probably know him because he's in Cabin in the Woods. But he has a crazy career. He's lots of theater. He's an actress, but he's an amazing actor, and he and his director a debut a few years ago, and it was this film called Mass that ended up being at Sundance, and it won the Independent Spirit Award. Or I don't know if it won Sundance or premiered. It was one of those, but it won the Independent Spirit Award, which is that award that Sean Baker won before even the Oscar. To like put it in perspective. Yeah. And what Fran did is originally wrote, it's called Mass, M-A-S-S. He originally wrote it as a play, and then adapted it to a feature, and it's just 4 actors. That's the entire movie, and it won so many awards. So it's so possible.
Yeah.
And
I mean, even to use Terrifier as an example, even though there were things that were not done already, they should have been. To Damien's credit, he was a special effects artist. He wasn't a director. He started doing special effects. So he was like, this is something I know how to do. This is a skill set I have. So I'm going to use that to the best of my ability.
And that's what he did. And there are tons of effects artists who do that and make their own films, because that's how else you're going to showcase your skill set, but also tell the stories you make people that.
In Italy, speaking on the site, you had to choose to be more well known for that before you're directing, before producing. What do you think you choose for?
I think the acting, because it allows you the opportunity to direct more and produce more.
People trust actors more than they should.
Yeah, 100%. And I think sometimes you'll just be able to get that experience because you have, it's like channel or something, but you have what's called sales value. So you, based on the success of your projects as an actor, can help get investors and distribution deals based on your name value
and visibility.
Yeah, I know. So I think in terms of logistically executing the other things, the actor follows. But I also think, and I'm a really firm believer in this, I think the age of being just anything is over.
I think it is.
I think even if you see actors that you're calling A-listers or whatever, they are constantly, they're doing this or they're doing France.
A lot of them have production companies. Reese Witherspoon's production company makes amazing stuff.
Yeah, and they're always championing. It's an instant champion stories from what I tell them. And it's also our industry is not profitable. It used to be, so you can't just do one thing. And I also think in that it's not as profitable. It's more competitive than it's ever been because these things get phased. So it's you need to be so good at what you're able to do. And the best way to understand one medium is to understand the entire medium.
Yeah, which to that point, both of us have done even just outside of those things, because a lot of people want to be directors or actors, but there are a million jobs on a set. And there's carpentry, there are painters, there are people who are just lens techs who literally just put contact lenses in your eyeballs and poke your eye every time it's uncomfortable. And they're in the union. There are a million jobs, and we've both done a lot of them. I worked as a first AD for years, which is the person who does scheduling and keeps everybody on schedule and it keeps the train moving. It's an incredibly thankless job. It has the highest suicide rate of any job on set and the lowest life expectancy, but it taught me a lot about how the whole thing works and how it moves. And we both done a million. I held a boom pole once.
Yeah, someone came up to me and asked how I got involved with this one production company today. I was like, how did you know about that? It's it's in your file. And it's because it on some website or something. And it's because when I was starting out, I was looking to negotiate a deal for myself, and this producer, I said, 18, 19 years old, this producer said to me, oh, you don't know what you're talking about, here's a spec. And I never wanted anyone to ever be able to say that to me ever again. And so I started just seeing every job. So I did create. I worked as an assistant in effects. I worked in casting. I AD'd. I'd anything anyone would let me do. And eventually, actually, when we first started doing class, I would be stressed out. She'd be like, oh, Kevin's upstairs working, because I was running a writer's room for a show that aired 3 times a week for Adult Swim. So I was in there booking talent and helping us craft the segments around the talent for the show. And I had done that, and I was and I directed commercials and produced stuff for food, which is what in cultural was part of. I was doing all of that all the time, and now I'm further stuff I can be selective about what I do. But I also think it's made us like such fucking efficient actors and filmmakers.
And respectful.
Yeah.
It's like the worst thing is actors who come on set and think that they're the most important person on set. We're not. Like it's if someone doesn't set up the lights, you can't see us. If someone doesn't mic us, you can't hear us. Like if someone doesn't edit the film, no one's gonna watch it. Like
and that's the thing is I will always put Jenna up for things and like championing them because it's like there's this like ability that people who are multifaceted have on sets that like makes us so everyone talks about how it's so they know they're not gonna have to worry about getting my stuff because if the other things technically doesn't go wrong, but I guarantee you it's going to be very rare that I mess up. At least technically, maybe my performance I'll want another or whatever because I'm so aware of what's going on. Not on what I say that I'll never have like. But it's like I'm very aware of what's going around me the same way you are, and I know when I can like what to stop, when to like all of it. That's just something you get from working in other departments. I'm sure this is you or you as well. When they just by listening, right? So like when they yell cut and they're moving into another setup, I can tell you just overhearing the conversation that the DP says to their first AC or runner, okay, we're gonna swap this out and we swap this and that. If I'm familiar with that camera, the amount of times I am, might know what that means they're getting coverage of before anyone even tells me that they're going like if it's a close up or it's a push in. Like, I know. Because I know what that was.
And like one of the best things you can do if you're looking to get into film, if anybody is to work as a PA or to do even extra work because then you have very little responsibility, but you're getting to watch everything. You're getting to like absorb and you're getting to learn, and it's like free, not paid school basically. Like you're getting to because I used to do extra work all the time. I like also used to PA and. It's just such a good way to like be a sponge for it all. Yeah, to sure be.
So to wrap this up, I just want to ask, what is it that all the stuff that you guys have going on, what is it that continues to inspire you today?
Oh wow.
I think I'm really inspired. Very inspired by Jenna. I'm inspired by a lot of the creators that I work with. These really good work time as issue. I'm inspired by the idea that we can make things part of tradition because I know with the struggle and I want to see things improve and also be different because I never get to feel the things that I know that never so like that is a bit I just need cyber pancakes.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I 100% agree with that. Like you, like the people that are like constantly creating around me, even in spite of adversity. I'm also really inspired by people who are not in film at all. Like people like Greta Thunberg inspire me. Like Malala Yousafzai inspires me. Like the people who go out and like try to make change happen in the world. And even people like people in the medical field, like teachers.
Yes,
teachers are insane. Like
people who are like actively, especially right now, like taking a stand and trying to be better, trying to like that's the bravest thing that the possibly do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys for your time today. We appreciate it.
Thanks you all for coming to us.
For you guys take off. You know the drill. We'd like to get a photo with you for the convention. They'll post it on social media. You can find yourself later on in the week. Well, got the wire. So this is Polly. She's gonna come stand right back here. We will, if you guys just kind of want to stand, and Luke's kind of come out here.